This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with SB Sports. We're delighted to be joined once again with the victorious Anto Cacace. Anto, I guess we're a week on obviously now from obviously a special moment for you in the SSE, your first fight back in 8 years. I know we spoke about it obviously in the build up to the fight, but what a homecoming you had this time last week.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed every minute of it. Didn't feel I performed my best. It was a wee bit, I don't know, just wasn't myself. But yeah, it's just good to be back home and to get that type of reception, you know, at the public weigh-in and even at the event as well. It was overwhelming. It was amazing.
I know you obviously were critical of your performance now. I know you sort of said to me afterwards you sort of rated it like a 3 out of 10 sort of thing. I guess when you have that sort of feeling of coming home and it's sort of not been something you're used to the last while, do you think that maybe sort of affected the performance in some ways? That obviously you wanted to try too hard. Sometimes when you try too hard, you obviously go too far. Was that maybe a case of that, or was it obviously injury in your hand early on in the fight that sort of then had to take you back to your normal mode?
Well, I hurt my left hand in the second round, and I just had to win the fight then at that stage. Say about 2 rounds after, my right hand was gone as well. So just what it was like. I mean, I didn't let the pressure get to me. It actually felt like I was getting in for a spar, but listen, a win's a win, and I keep marching forward.
I guess it's that sort of, you know, the momentum sort of fighting at home now. It's sort of going to get another one. You know, you maybe now start dreaming of headlining the SSE. You've obviously been there for Frampton nights. You've obviously been there now for Conlan nights. You know, I guess everybody wants to know, can Anto Cacace headline the SSE? And it's sort of getting the right fight at the sort of right time, sort of to have that moment and obviously be the big star, obviously headlining the cards. Something you probably never think you dream that you sort of maybe do is by headlining the card in the SSE.
Yeah, it would be amazing. It would be amazing, but there's so many fighters here with that same dream, and I am literally within touching distance of it. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'm not one to want. I don't want to be the big star or anything like that, but I would love to top a bill in Belfast and just see how it all went. But yeah, it's on to the big names now. Try and get the biggest names in the division in the next one and test myself properly now and let's see what happens.
Do you think sort of where you're being critical, sort of maybe the opponent, obviously Damien Walwinski, I think that's how you pronounce the name, it was obviously durable. I'd probably maybe say at stages if you'd have sort of maybe upped the pace a wee bit, but obviously with bad hands and everything else, I guess it's okay from the outside looking in, but at any stage I think probably if you'd have upped the tempo a wee bit more, you could maybe have got him out of there maybe in the later rounds, because after probably 4 rounds, I think it was 2 each, and then you just steamrolled through. Do you sort of feel as if you maybe had at stages, because it looked like you heard it multiple times as well? Do you think maybe if you had up the tempo, you could have got him out there and probably had a first, when was the last time you had a stoppage?
Couldn't tell you. Yeah, if I would have upped the game and put it on him a wee bit more, I could have. But as I say, my hands were done. I don't know. I just didn't feel myself. I felt there was something a bit off, but I'm taking it just positively, and I got the win. There's another fight there for me, and it's going to be a big level, high level fight. So that's just the way I'm looking at it. I know I'm better than that, and I'll show up in the next one. You
obviously said in the post-fight interview, obviously you want any of the champions, and we sort of put a post up since of obviously all the champions. Obviously Joe Cordina, obviously the ABF with his own. ShaquieFoster, I'm obviously not sure who he's linked with. Hector Garcia and Emanuel Navarrette's obviously going to defend his belt against Valdez. So ideally, obviously, and I know you don't like to call people out, but ideally if someone said, so, you know, if Simon and Frank said to you, right, Ando, pick who you want, you've got a choice, they're all going to say yes, who would you want to face next?
Listen, any of them. I mean, there's no well, I mean, I wouldn't mind fighting Navarrete. He's like a 3 or 4 weight world champion, so that would be great for me. But any of these champions I would love a crack at, and I'm confident that with a good camp that I could mix it with these.
I guess within the champion as well, it's going to give you an opportunity on away day. I know you've obviously fought in America, in Philadelphia, obviously years ago, but obviously being a headline or obviously in a big card in America. That's, it's another bucket list sort of thing to tick off. And you're sort of in your twilight years in the sport as well. I know you'll probably say you're nearly 40, but obviously you're in the twilight years of the sport to sort of get them memories, particularly obviously having young kids. It's something for them to come up in the memories to go, my daddy boxed here, my daddy won this, my daddy won that. Is that what it's all about for you now, is the memories for the kids?
Yeah, it's like my eldest daughter, she's been to my last 2 fights, one in Manchester and then she was down in the Odyssey the other night. It's like she grew up, you know what I mean? She grew up with me. My eldest, like watching, being around. She's had to suffer with me being away, boxing, and just her and her mummy doing, having to do everything for her whenever I've been away, and pursuing the dream, as I say. So it's like it is all for them, like, and I genuinely mean that, like, because as far as when it comes down to me, I don't care too much for myself, just for them. I want to like get something out of this sport and do something.
I guess finally, sort of now you're sort of you're starting to get rewarded sort of in ways. Obviously, you got the Magnesi fight, obviously from Sean McComb sort of last year. He sort of gave you like a backhander and recommending you for it. And now obviously everything you're getting here, it's through the hard work, determination, and probably the years of going, are these fights ever going to happen? It just seems to be that now, touch wood, everything's falling into place at just the right time for you.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it went. I'm appreciating where I'm at the minute, and I thank God every day that I am here, because there was a time where this was literally like unsafe. I couldn't see it, the way business was going, like the way boxing was going with coaches, management, and whatever else. Just thought, no, I'll never get there, but I'm here now. So and I am that wee bit older, 34, but I suppose it gives me that more experience, and I've been around every type of person in this game. I know what to look out for and who to trust and who not to trust. So yeah, it could be happening at a good time, and I just appreciate it and thank God that I'm here.
Obviously, you keep getting rave reviews. Obviously, Carl Frampton obviously was saying again last week as well, obviously, about how much of a puncher and everything else you were. Is it sort of, when you get praise, it's sort of that way? I guess you're so well used to it now. Obviously, the praise has been coming for years. But it's obviously that make it sweeter now to know that when you're getting the victories, and you come out of there last week without a mark. Obviously your hands are damaged, but there's hardly a mark on your face. That shows the talent you have. It's sort of that old ethos of boxing of hitting, not getting hit. When you can come out with no damage, even better for you. It just probably shows the talent you have even more.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he roughed me up a wee bit. There was a couple of wee marks or whatever. Of course, I'm in a 12-round fight, but yeah, it's just I feel fresh enough. It's obviously I'm a wee bit older, but I feel fresh. I haven't been in too many wars. Any fight that really, I've only had maybe 1 or 2 Magnesi and Sam Bowen, but bar that, all's going well. You know what I mean? It's just like I've got a lot more, as you say, about Carl Frampton. Carl Frampton probably wants to see what I do in like the same thing as what I would be doing in the gym, and I haven't even shown that yet. So it's like there will come a time when I'll show it, and hopefully it's in my next one.
You sort of teased a wee bit at times, obviously, as if you could show, you were sort of maybe from second gear, and then the next thing you were in fifth gear, you were sort of putting punches together. You were sort of teasing what's more to come, I guess, as I've sort of said to you off camera, but you not showing that. Any potential opponent that's next may not see what you've got, a big sucker punch, they put them out. So in some ways, if you're not having to show it in a fight, you're able to keep it when you get the bigger fights. If you get one of these big massive world title fights next, that's where you can really show it, and that's when you probably have to bite down the gum shield more and go, this is my time, I'm not just here to sort of be part of this. You're there to win it as well.
Yeah. Well, it's good that I'm not, that there's different aspects about me that no one has seen on camera and whatever else, but hopefully I can bring it out of myself and produce the goods whenever I'm in with the top level fighters, and I think I will. Anytime I'm in with these big guys or world champions, ex-world champions, I always feel like comfortable enough. So it's just about staying comfortable in the ring and listen, keep learning and doing and trying more new things, different things every day.
I also want to get your thoughts, and obviously Michael Conlan obviously suffered 5th round stoppage last week. Obviously you're on his undercard. It looks like obviously Michael's going to come back, and I guess sometimes only a fighter can know obviously what they've left and everything else. But it was obviously, that's 2 bad weekends in a row we've had. Obviously Katie losing and obviously Michael losing. Thankfully he's going to stay on because Belfast boxing in particular needs people like Mick Conlan about. It's bringing, it's helping fighters in their journeys up. You probably wouldn't have got a fight in Belfast otherwise without him. So obviously, I guess your thoughts on it. I guess on the night, Lopez was just far too good. I guess would that make it easier to know that you just weren't the best man on the night? That sort of maybe wee things just didn't go your way. Would it make it easier for him? I guess in that you've obviously experienced defeating where you should have won. So I guess you wouldn't know what it's like in that sort of way. But obviously, I guess the good thing is he's going to stay on and keep boxing.
Listen, Mick Conlan, I feel bad for him. But again, this is boxing, and Mick knows it himself. And it's like, who's a more talented man there between Lopez and Mick Conlan? I'd say Mick Conlan every day of the week. But this is a hard sport. It's like, it's completely different from the amateurs. It's just difficult. You know what I mean? It's a hurt game. So, like, Lopez was down to really hurt Mick. Was catching him heavy shots while Mick was boxing the head of him early rounds. But it happens, and that's boxing. It can change the night. It can change your life. You know what I mean? And that's how serious this game is. But it's great that Mick's back. And he's not going to retire off that and continue to push on, because it helps the likes of myself, Paulie McCrory, all them kids up in the gym, Conor Quinn, all these Belfast fighters, to get on a bill and a platform that's going to propel them to the next level. And this is what Mick Conlan is doing for all the young ones and all the ones on the undercard.
Obviously, I guess your last fight was September before last week. When are you sort of hoping to get back out? You sort of get a fight. There sort of looks to be maybe momentum build and say up September to May, and then I think before that was what. Was it about a year, probably since, nearly a year? Are you obviously hoping to get back out again soon, I guess, with the hands? Obviously the swelling's coming down. Are you sort of hoping to get back out soon? I know there's Simon's been sort of saying online there's been negotiations started with some of the champions. I'm not going to name sort of anything and put words out, maybe I shouldn't, but are you hoping to get back out in action soon?
Yes, I am. This one, I'm pretty sure that it will happen, and it will happen. And it won't take 10 months, a year down the line. This one will happen pretty soon, and it'll be a massive fight for me and for Belfast and for everyone. It's just an occasion, I suppose, and let's hope everything pans off the way it's looking.
Well, listen, obviously it's great to catch up. Obviously the weather's frightening here. You nearly think we're in Spain doing this interview, and it looks like you're on a wee doll's house as well. Obviously people's looking here and they're going.
Don't show them around.
But obviously thank you as always, obviously for obviously having an interview with us. We'll obviously look forward to you getting some fight news, but you can obviously enjoy some of the sunshine in the meantime. Okay. And I'm sure we'll catch up very soon.
Good man, Stephen. Appreciate it, mate.
Cheers, Anto. Take care.
Cheers, mate.